All aboard Edible Lead Train Line 034, departing Blandville and arriving shortly in Flavortropolis. No relation to Flavortown. All aboard the Stew train!
His name is Ed, and he's got a cooking channel. It's Edible Ed. It's a cooking show. Gonna cook some good food for you.
On today's all-new episode of Edible Ed, I'm gonna be making beef stew using my slow cooker. It's super simple. You just throw all your ingredients inside of your slow cooker before you leave to go to work or when you wake up in the morning, and 8 hours later, presto, there's dinner waiting for you. So come on the Edible Ed train and let's get this stew going.
Hey there friends, let's get our beef stew going. I have a pound of chuck roast cut up into cubes, and I'm currently coating it into our dredge. The dredge consists of some rice flour, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some salt and pepper, some garlic and herb seasoning, and you just want to make sure that they're completely coated into that dredge so they look like snowballs from Flavortropolis. I have my pan on high heat. I threw in some olive oil and ghee. We're gonna sear it, hard sear on these guys. You're not gonna be cooking it, but you're trying to get it nice and caramelized, get that color. It's gonna be about 3 to 4 minutes per side until it has that nice brown exterior. Once you finish, make sure you're doing it in batches, so you don't want to overcrowd your pan. Once you finish, remove the beef from the heat and set aside. After we sear our beef, we have a lot of beef fond, which is at the bottom of the pan. We want to pull all that great stuff off, so I have 3 cups of beef broth bubbling away, reducing down. This is going to be the main liquid for our stew. I have my crock pot here. I'm gonna throw in all that beautifully brown beef, that beef juice into the pot. I have 2 cans of tomato sauce going into the crock pot here. And I have about an onion cut up, diced into a large dice. I have some carrots going in, some sliced mushrooms. You could throw whatever you want in here. I have about 6 cloves of garlic minced up, some parsley leaves going in. Time to add that beautiful beef broth that's just fortified with all that beef juice and delicious flavor. A couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce going in there, and we mix that up with 1 cup of your favorite red wine to cap it off. Just make sure everything's combined. Throw in a couple bay leaves, set it for 8 hours on high, and say good night or good morning, depending on when you're cooking it. We'll say bye-bye for now. And I had a couple leftover cooked potatoes. I had diced these potatoes and boiled them. So I figured why not lightly fry them so they get a nice crispy exterior. They're already cooked. We're just crisping them on the outside. And these are some of the best potatoes. Just boiled them in some chicken broth with some spices. And then I'm just refrying it now. They're delicious. And I had some corn on the cob left over, so I'm gonna make some popcorn succotash with some green beans. So you just throw it in some hot oil, and this is why it's called popcorn. Just let that corn caramelize and pop. Once it starts popping with some salt and pepper, you throw in your green beans, add a little bit more salt and pepper to the pan, stir it all together so it's nice and combined. You want your green beans to still have that crisp bite to it when it's done. Now time to unveil the beef stew. Remove the bay leaves. You're not going to eat those. Those were purely for flavor. Mix it up. Look how beautiful that stew looks. I'm so hungry. Time to plate. Potatoes go down. Drop some more stew on there. Look at that. The veg, everything looks delicious. Some more of that beautiful stew. That gravy. Drop our popcorn and our green bean succotash down. Throw a little bit parsley on top of everything. And finish with a heaping pile of fresh carrot on top. Delicious.
Chugga, 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 stew, stew. Okay, totally like I use that stew joke way too much. But you know what time it is? It's time for Ed Bites. So we got our stew here, our twice cooked potatoes, our roasted popcorn, and haricot vert succotash. Everything looks and smells delicious. Let's try this stew. That meat's just so tender, it just falls off, falls apart. Get a little bit of those potatoes in there. That meat's so tender, it's delicious. The potatoes are nice and crisp, but they're soft on the inside. Let's try some of this popcorn and green bean succotash. Now this is the kind of popcorn I wouldn't mind taking to a movie. The corn is nice and caramelized. The haricot verts or green beans have a nice snap when you bite into it, but on the outside it's nice and crisp. It's great. It's a great dinner. Definitely try this recipe out. It's really easy, super delicious. You'll be a superhero in the kitchen. Thanks for watching this episode of Edible Ed. I really appreciate you watching it. Thanks. It's real cool of you. Definitely check back here next week. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Who's ready for some bye? Are you sure? Yeah. All right. Here comes some beef stew. Stew. Chugga, 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 chugga. Stew, stew. Yeah.